Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, August 18th. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful day so far. Sunday should be easy and quiet and fun and relaxing and serene, and I hope that's happening for you. Today's topic: does heaven always answer our prayers? The short answer is yes. And also, perhaps surprising to you, the answer is yes, all the time. However, heaven sees yes in a much more larger picture way than we. For instance, if you were praying for a certain outcome to a relationship, that the person will change, or that you will receive the love that you're looking for, and you have a particular face in mind, heaven is answering yes to you. However, they know what you're really feeling, what you're really asking for, what your true intention is. So they're going to answer yes to your ideal relationship, getting truly what you want. Heaven will never go against a will. It will never go against your will. So it cannot make things happen like making up a potion for you. They're not going to force someone to suddenly wish to be with you or force someone to change. But they will send you what you're truly asking for, whatever part of your being. So it's always best when you are asking for assistance from heaven in the way of your material life, your relationship area, and health, that you always ask for this or more. So in the way of health, always ask for the best outcome in whatever way heaven wants to send it. And that's really the key for all areas of prayer. Now, what I found in my life is that no matter how I phrase my prayer, I always see heaven at work, and I always see them sending me what I'm truly asking for. And it's always better than what I thought I wanted. And that's very true, isn't it? If we allow, things will turn out better than we thought we wanted. And it always does turn out for the greater, because that's always what heaven has in mind. They're always looking at your path. They're always trying to send you the greatest path. So when we have moments when, quote, bad things happen, there is always a purpose to it. I know there have been times where I've heard people say that they can't stand it, they don't like it when someone says everything happens for a reason, because they feel that that's not the case, that sometimes things bad just happen. But honestly, that isn't the case. Everything always does happen for a reason. It contains a hidden blessing that we cannot see at the time in some way. It contains a lesson. It always has a larger purpose. And we go through incredible pain here and loss. Yesterday, I had to give messages to parents who have lost children. And they will not know it most likely during this lifetime of theirs. But when they get to heaven, they will get all understanding, all information. They will see the path their loved one had who passed and why it was their time. And they will get to see the path that was affected by that loss, and comparatively be comparable, in a comparable way, be able to see the blessings that were in it. Now, I say this to you not with a cold heart. I'm a mother, and it would crush my spirit to lose my child. And I have empathy, and I grieve just like anybody else. But I do know that there is always something greater and larger going on at all times. And sometimes we all have to fasten our seatbelts. It is a bumpy ride a lot, but I find that when I get through it, I can see that I am greater and that things around me are greater. And I can also see how very, very loved I am. And that is so very true. You are very, very loved. Now, when you pray, yes, sometimes the answer is an instant answer. Maybe, I remember one time I asked to be closer to Jesus. And I was sitting at my desk at work, and a couple of minutes later, I had a very strong urge to stand up and look out the window. And looking out the window is something I did a lot, just to kind of see what was happening in the world outside, watch the traffic go by. But on this particular occasion, after a week requesting or just speaking about wanting to be closer to Jesus, I looked outside the window and a big white box truck went by, and on the side of the truck it said in red letters, "Jesus is with you." I knew that was the answer to the statement I had made, to the request that I had made. So an answer to the prayer can come instantaneously, just like that. Perhaps you're sitting in traffic and ahead of you is a bumper sticker on a car or a license plate. That could often be your past loved ones as well speaking to you. Heaven works as one, so it does not matter if it is your departed loved one, an angel, that source, or a spirit guide that's answering you. Your prayer has been heard. Your need is being heard. And they are trying to let you know that they're always with you at every moment of your life. Another way that heaven will answer prayers is through synchronicities. Synchronicities are coincidences, and quite frankly, there is no such thing as a coincidence. It is always heaven speaking to us. Synchronicities tend to come in about threes, but they can come more if you're not paying attention right away. And all of us can get busy and not pay attention right away. So if you see constant numbers that are the same, such as 111 or 333, that is an answer from heaven. If you see the same thing being said to you over and over and over again in some way, that is an answer from heaven. If you're just seeing something everywhere and you're wondering what's going on, why is this state occurring to you over and over again, or you're seeing commercials about it all the time suddenly as you hear about it and see it on social media, like you're being bombarded, that's a sign. That's an answer. That's heaven. And so it does require being alert so that you don't miss the signs. It's just the sooner the better. And then it is important to take action steps, if required, once you get the answer. So if you ask heaven, should I move? And you're getting notice everywhere about a certain place or a certain state, heaven is saying, yes, move to this place. It is really that simple. And so it's just a matter of paying attention. I love, and I'm sure you do too, I love that I'm being heard. I love that there's always something and some loved one near me. I like that reassurance. I like that security. I like having my own little invisible mastermind group that I can turn to when I feel I want to, and they'll always give me answers. So very important. It's just so important to know we're not in this life alone. Now, sometimes heaven also will answer you through dreams. Now, dreams are tricky. People ask me quite frequently about dreams. What are their meaning? Well, dreams hold answers. If it's a very lucid dream, if you feel like it's real and you feel you get an answer in a dream, you are getting an answer in a dream. If you see your departed loved one in a dream and it feels real, it is them. And most of the time, honestly, I tend to say 100% of the time, if your loved one's in a dream, even if it doesn't make sense, even if they're not talking to you, it is them trying to make a connection with you. And that connection is always, hello, I'm okay. Dreams also will give us what is in our mind all day. For instance, last night, I had a dream of a giraffe in my backyard. But I know for a fact that before I went to bed, when I was in a very relaxed state, in a state where I would program images and thoughts into myself, I looked at pictures of giraffes. So the giraffe came out in my dreams. So there wasn't a special symbolism to the giraffe. It's just happened to be in my programming. So your day will come out during the night in your dreams. Now, if you're someone who says, I cannot dream or I cannot remember my dreams, it doesn't mean they're not happening, because our souls always leave our bodies at night and we're interacting and we're having connections with other dimensions and with our higher selves. So it's happening. So in the case where you cannot remember images, see what you can do to have a knowing or to hear something, because heaven will try to use any resource it possibly can to give you the answer to your dreams, and your loved ones also to make that connection with you. So there is always an answer to the prayers. Most of the time it will be through synchronicities. Secondly, through dreams. Sometimes it's just an assurance within your soul. I get butterflies when I'm supposed to do something. All of us have the senses, the extra sensory senses. Perhaps sometimes you have a knowing. You don't know why you feel the way you do, but you know you just have to do it. That's an answer. Or you know to avoid something. Or you know you must go to a place. That's also an answer. Heaven works with whatever it needs to work with to give you what you've asked for. And it is important. It's a bit on blind faith, but it's very important to trust that when you do pray, it is answered, and that they're going to do the best they can. As I told you, they get beyond the black and white. They go to what you truly, truly are saying. So the true qualities that you're looking for, what you think you see in another person, they'll try to send you. But perhaps it's with a different face. With the healing, they're going to send you the best they can according to what you allow. And that's not a blame game. Sometimes when we're not well, we feel it serves us to hold on to the illness a little bit more than we're saying we want to. So when you ask for healing, be sure to open up to receive it and to do whatever you should and can to assist. Keeping open with your beliefs, keeping open with your thoughts and with your positive feelings. Doesn't have to be a certain way. Don't make it restricted or narrow. Open up to whatever the picture may end up being, whatever course it may take. Don't have an outcome in mind. Just ask for help and then watch it all reveal itself. And in the case of finances or a job, you may ask heaven for more money and they get you fired from work. I'm laughing because if you were to come to me as a client and told me that you were let go from your job or laid off in some way, I would say, congratulations. Now you have the opportunity to begin your life purpose. What are you going to do? I know anything like that is a kick in the butt from heaven. And they know that you must participate in the improvement of your life, in your greater chapter. They are not one most of the time to just give you the pot of gold and smile at you lovingly and move on. Because you see, not everyone can benefit from having it plop on them. Some can temporarily, and then things happen. But most of the time, heaven will say to you, you take one step and I'll do most of the rest. So take one step. If you want more money, look for how you can earn more money. And then heaven will give you more than you are trying to ask for in some way, shape, or form. So I find I have a very strong intuition, and I find that heaven often surprises me. I always say they get me from behind. So that's why it's so important when you ask for help, when you ask for assistance, when you make a request, which you're certainly allowed to do. Heaven loves the interaction, by the way. They love when we turn to them, as long as it's not in a codependent way, meaning unhealthfully, in an unhealthy way. They like the interaction. So when you do ask for assistance, when you do make a request, step back and let them take it and follow what you're led to do. And things will work out magically, and so much better than if you had tried to do it all alone. And we tend to do that, don't we? We tend to try and do things all alone, even after asking for help. And I know I have found in my own life that it tends to slow things up. It tends to stall from coming what we really want. Yes, as I said, there should be action. But allow heaven to play a part. Play a part with you as a team working together. And you'll get more than you could have asked for. Please know, I say this every week because it's the truth. Please know how much you are loved. You are looked upon as grander than you can imagine. You are looked upon as more gifted than you know you are. You are looked upon as perfect, but we're not taught that. And I'm not saying that you do not make mistakes as a human being, but heaven loves you unconditionally, no matter what. And they are unending and unrelenting in that unconditional accepting love. And that's so important to know, because this life can be a struggle. This life can be a challenge. And I just want you all to know that there is always something or someone there trying to help you, trying to love you, trying to give you the support that all of us so want. And oftentimes, God is described as angry. God is described as patriotic. I find that so confusing to me, because God doesn't wave a flag. God is not violent. God is not, doesn't play favorites. That energy is only love. It only knows love. It only knows how to help us with love. Heaven is nothing but love. It rules with love. Love overcomes everything. It is the most powerful force in the universe. And nothing else can ever overcome it. And God is not capable of feeling anything but it, or anything that has residence in heaven, including your loved ones now, your angels, and your spirit guides. No matter who your loved ones were on earth, if they were not evil, even if they did evil acts, if they were not evil, they are in heaven, and they are coming to that place also of unconditional love. It gets to you. It affects you. They soak it up, so they can't help but become more understanding, more loving, more supportive than they were on earth. They become better people. They become better souls. Even if they were the salt of the earth, they're even better now. And they love you even more now. So I encourage you, please, to not believe that God and heaven is anything but love. And to not watch or see or hear anything other than that yesterday. Actually, it was early this morning because I was a bit of a late to bed person last night, an early riser this morning, and which explains the voice. Sorry about that. But I saw this post yesterday. This great man. He has great qualities. He was at a violent sports event, and he had his cowboy hat on, and he was hashtagging God, hashtagging patriotism, and celebrating all these things at this violent event that tortures animals for sport. And I so much wanted to say, God was not there torturing the animals or supporting that. Yes, angels were on the scene, honoring our free will, but that was not a God-ordained event. Heaven does not contain or support violence. It does not support. It would never advocate for guns. Does it allow us to have guns? Yes. Does it use guns to teach us lessons? Absolutely. It wants us to sometimes understand peace through tragedy, to understand and hope through tragedy that we can learn lessons and choose better, choose peace, choose love. It allows us a lot of events and a lot of experiences so that we choose love. And that's the only purpose of anything. But there are people who feel that God, patriotism, violence go together. And it's just not the case. It's the furthest thing from the truth. And so please know, and tell yourself every day, remind yourself every day, 3 words. God is love, God is love, God is love. And also remember that heaven loves you more than you can ever imagine. It's not possible for you to imagine it. It's greater than your imagination exists. And your imagination is a very, very powerful thing. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and an amazing week. Please be sure to go to my website for all of my services. That's lisahop.com, LISAHOPP.com. You can also find my business page on Facebook as Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop, where I put all of my events, courses, links to this podcast, but also I will be starting a YouTube channel soon. It's already set up. I am just getting the room where it's going to be recorded. Final preparations of the room are underway, just about there. And it's going to include angel channelings, teachings, all information just like this podcast for people to listen to and to view. So I hope you also eventually would join me there. I'll definitely announce it when it's up and running. Till next week, and hopefully I will record from next week. I will be out of town, but I'm going to certainly try. I wish you a very blessed week, and thank you again for joining me. Much love.